Hey, Doodle. Ah, I'm live. Hey, Wild One. How are you doing? Hey, Doodle. Ah, I'm live. Hey, Wild One. How are you doing? Hey, Doodle. Well, that's great. I thought I had this figured out. Can you hear me? Okay. Huh. So I had this thought. I have many thoughts, but I guess you three all know that. Or you too, Mike. Maybe Mike will come up on the panel later if he feels so inspired. Let me know, Mike, if you want to. Uh, I, I've been watching live streams for a good bit, and there's people that recommend blocking. And I want to discuss right now, if I had someone to discuss it with, when's a good time to block, when to block and not to block. So I know that you guys know that if I say what my name JD Management here, it did. Brandy's the only one with a wrench, and I can't figure out how to give out wrenches. It was a fluke that I found it the first time, so it'll take me a while to find that again so I can give other people wrenches. But luckily, Brandy got one so that Mike has to behave no matter what I do because he has a direct link to my channel. He's my administrator. Well, no, he isn't. I'm lying. I don't have any proof of that. But anyway, I know that she can get into his phone. I heard that. I have proof of that too, which is why I unlisted my last stream because I have all kinds of proof and I'm going to show it if I have to. Anyway, JD Management is my name today. Well, I mean, that's an opinion, Doodle. The Browns are great in Doodle Brown's opinion. I'm not going to say they're not great. How do I know if they're great or not? Really? Yeah, I do know. They're great. Oh, okay. Do you want to be a mod? Raise your hand if you want to be a mod. If you don't want to be a mod, I won't force you to. Okay, no one? That's fine. Okay. JD Management. What do you think JD Management means? And has to do with blocking, whether a person should block or not block on any social media. Because when I came onto social media, I didn't know what blocking was until it actually happened to me, and I wasn't even aware. Okay, Doodle. Doesn't show me that I can give it. How do I get? I don't know how to do it. What is going on? Oh, okay. Now I know how to pin a comment. Anyway, okay, this is gonna. Let's make a long story longer. Okay, because that's what I'm good at. So I didn't know I was blocked for at least 4 months because I had no idea what blocking was. But Oh, I see. Yeah, okay, go to, I get it. Now I can do it. Thank you, Mike. I'm talking about the Mike that you see here, Wild One. I'm sure he doesn't mind if I use his name. So show me if you're a mod yet, Doodle, because I made you one. Do you want to be one? Okay, then, okay, Doodle, that means you're a narcissist. You have over 200. Either you're a narcissist or you're scared of what you might say to someone. You're not a narcissist. Let's that's another subject. But in my opinion, uh, blocking is something that should help the person that's doing the blocking, not to hurt someone else. Right? Am I? Can anyone agree with that? Because I've seen the blocking option used to hurt other people, and I'm kind of against it. So I have literally zero people on my block list because I like to think I have some self control. Uh, but yeah, it does make it easier. And other people have made it easier on me by blocking me. And I don't have to, the guilt that could surround that if I offended someone by blocking them, I, it would hurt me to feel like I've hurt someone else by putting them on my block list. Yeah, if someone's, I don't know, if someone's saying something hateful, I might want to see that. I might want to see how hateful they actually are. I think I can, I don't know, stay out of their business by doing that. I think sometimes if you block people, you might miss something and then think they're cool. And then, do a live stream and have them on your panel and find out the opposite on a live. That might be embarrassing. Yeah, no, I don't think you would. And I don't think you're a narcissist. But I do believe that narcissists will block hundreds of people, hundreds and more than 200. And I can understand, Doodle, why you would block people because for some reason, people have decided to like make you some kind of a target, somewhat of a target. And I guess I could be made a target too, but what would be the point? You know, I'm not that important. Oh, so did I say what JD management was to the two people that are watching right now? Oh, okay. So I'll explain. JD management. Yeah, it took me a while to figure out this name for myself because I've literally made it my mantra not to say, gee, to say in streams, stop sending money to Johnny Depp. But then I realized that that's really not enough because some people are not really sending money to Johnny Depp. They're sending money to Johnny Depp's management. So since I'm Johnny Depp's management, you can try sending me money, but I'll let you know that I don't have a jet that will take you to meet Johnny Depp if you send me $10,000 or $25,000. Like this is the reason why maybe I don't want to block. I don't have a reason to because I'm not going to be sending anybody, right? I'm not going to be sending anybody some crazy amount of money because I think they're going to introduce me to someone that I, would is famous or something like that. Like, why would I do that? If I, that is an invasion of their privacy. I'm not crazy enough to want to invade the privacy of a famous person. That just seems a little off to me. So if there's people around that, I'm not saying that they deserve what they get, because yeah, maybe they're confused, but I don't want to exploit that person either. I've been made aware that there's people out there that do that, and no one is helping them, much as they say they are. You know, I you know, it would Mark Mark Brown. Are you talking about Mark Brown? Is that official now? Is that his real name? I'm talking to Wild One. Anyone who's watching this and is new. Oh, no, there's no new people. Hey, Doodle, did you drop the link to this live in your Discord? You know what? I've only heard one. I've only heard one negative thing about you, Doodle, and I would never repeat it. And I just thought it was disgraceful because those are people with no empathy, and the only reason why they could say anything about you was because you had empathy for someone else. So I okay, so having Mike on my stream made me 50% more popular because I had at least 7 people in my stream when Mike was here. So now I'm really gonna have to punish him later. But it's not gonna deter me. Like, I think I have a message to people that are afraid to speak on YouTube because they're afraid of being blocked. If someone who's running a live or uploading videos decides to block everyone that says anything that makes them feel a certain kind of way, I take that as a compliment if they block me, because I'm definitely not trying to offend them. I'm trying to enhance their experience, but I'm misunderstood, so that's fine. Let me be misunderstood. Yeah, Doodle, especially lately, because people, I want to encourage Doodle to talk more, because a lot of people are afraid to say things now just because, yeah. Yeah, Doodle. I was married to a narcissist. Yeah, and do you know how I knew he was a narcissist? Well, I'm still married to him. I haven't seen him for years, but oh, my neighbors are arguing. I wonder if anyone can hear. That's why I haven't gone live. I didn't move my computer yet. That's why I did it on my phone last time, and they didn't argue. Now they're arguing. But anyway, so anyway, where was I? I was talking about how I could tell my ex is a narcissist. I am very passive aggressive, and so I like to let people have their say because it only can benefit me, especially if it's negative. So after a while, whenever he would try to get in an argument with me, he started to play my role because I wouldn't participate in arguments with him because they went nowhere. They were just something in his head, and he wanted to fight about it. So he used to play my role and say, and this is what you would say. And I could literally sit and watch him for 45 minutes go back and forth with himself, playing himself and me at the same time. It was pretty bizarre. Yeah, it is difficult. Like, we had 4 kids living with us. 2 of them were mine, and 2 of them were his. Mine were older, his were younger. We both had custody, full custody of our kids. I didn't have any contact with my ex, but his kids saw their mother. So I also had to deal with her. Yeah, he told you. Yeah, well, I mean, he already knew the answers of the argument. So what, I didn't have anything to contribute to that. What was I going to say? Something that would piss him off? So I would just let him wear himself out, and then that started to piss him off. So that you really can't win with an arc. Yeah. Do you want to come up, Soldier? I can send you a link. Do you ever come on panel? Yeah, like, what mine was such an arc that, and I had no vested interest in being with him because we didn't have children together. The only the only thing that made it difficult for me to leave was that his 2 children, who were younger than mine, um, were in a position where neither of their parents really seemed to want them. They were both, it was hard, but yeah, I eventually, it took a couple of years, but I left because there was just no point. Couldn't win with that. Oh, okay. That's cool. Ow. I have 6. And then there were 6. So, okay, let's get back to blocking or not blocking. Like, who agrees that if someone is in a side chat and you're doing a live and they say something that you disagree with, should they automatically be blocked? Or is that a sign of a narcissist to block them just because I've been in chats where over the years people have started to block more and more people, and the side chat has become so boring I just can't stomach it. I still won't block them, and I've been blocked, you know, because I've said things in other places. I'm guilty of that. I hope what I say is funny and lends a little humor, but if it's not funny to that person, I understand that they can block me. It's cool, you know. Okay, I have to use non-Bluetooth for panel parties. I need to just put them. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. Right, but should we really block every narcissist because there's so many of them? I mean, everyone has a little bit of narc in them, a little, but I'm going to say that a lot of people that run panels or have live streams, they're there because they feel like their voice is the most important. So they become addicted to the lives because they can express themselves without damaging. Well, they don't know who they damage, like, mentally, but without damaging their immediate families, because they've kind of been given up on by their families, and their families won't listen to them anymore. So they go live a lot and talk a lot, and I guess they overshare. Now I'm guilty of that. Does that make me a narc because I overshare? That's something I'm working on, oversharing. Yeah, like, I've been blocked by people that I've never been in their chat ever. I've been blocked by people because I passively aggressively said I was a pacifist when they were being, promoting violence of some sort. Because it does, like if someone's saying, "Well, if you were in front of me, I would clean your clock or something," that, that's to me is I would consider that encouraging violence, and I prefer not to encourage violence in people, but it has gotten me blocked because I don't like to encourage that. But I'm not necessarily right. Like, people do like to express, and maybe it's better for them to express it on YouTube or on social media than in real life because, you know, maybe real life can keep them out of trouble. But let's talk about social media that really can get you in trouble. Like, I was watching, I can only watch one episode of uh what's her the Tiger Carol versus Joe. But I was watching it, and that's an example of not not enga- engagement might have kept him out of jail, but he had to he had to go and go hard, and that's what happens. It's what happens to people in real life by engaging in social media. He lost everything totally. Some people should not be on the internet for their own safety. So if blocking is for your own safety, then I recommend it. Like, a lot of people that have giant block lists and still run a channel, that they probably need that block list for their own protection because they have a hard time controlling what they say to people. Well, hey, Nana. So, okay, there was another subject that I thought I'd talk a little bit about, and that's terms of service. And that's because I'm starting to try and go live and see what happens with that. I'm not trying to build an empire, or I just maybe want to have a place where people can come and chit chat and try to stay out of trouble and not be too judgmental. I mean, you can judge somewhat, it's okay. But I also don't want to be involved with those true crime people. I mean, they're welcome to come here, those true crime people, but I'm not here to discuss people's crimes unless they're drama related. And I I don't want to be the judge of that either. I want people to be able to express how they feel about the drama related crimes and what's real and what isn't. Like, if you look at terms of service, I've heard lots of different things about how people make their money on YouTube. And, so I guess I'm going to say it's become very popular for people to drop Cash App. So when I thought about that, when I thought about going live with Mike, I thought, well, maybe Mike and I should, like, both have our Cash Apps up. I mean, it was a joke to myself, but like, why should I have Mike on my panel and not have his Cash App up? But then I thought, well, is that going to hurt my feelings when Mike just gets all the Cash Apps because his wife is in there dropping hundreds and hundreds of dollars into his Cash App every 2 minutes until their bank runs dry, and make me feel bad? I mean, that's like allowing him to money launder. Like, I just couldn't. I just couldn't do that. But I feel like I can't put my Cash App either. because then it's like lowering my expectations of my panel guest because I have high expectations. I expect them to do at least as much as I'm doing, or at least try, like, because otherwise they're just clout chasing and riding off my back, right? Isn't that how it works? They might get one of my, well, no, they're not going to get anything from trying to clout chase on my channel. That's another joke, but let's just think about this. Like, what's allowed in terms of service? Are people really allowed to put their cash apps out, or could they get in trouble? Put your hand up if you know the answer to this, because I don't know. I haven't read terms of service. I just try to be a good girl and not mess up too badly. So if you know, is it against terms of service to put up a cash app on your banner or in your side chat? And if you are, is it better to put it in the side chat? Is that the sneakier way to do it? Or sh- being blatant and putting it straight on your banner and not advertising it, is that better? Or is directing it to people to your cash app, is that okay? No, probably not. That might be against terms of service. I'm in two communities. I let my mods block who bothering them, but try but they try to block me. I don't know what you're trying to say. Oh, they try. Okay. Okay, I get it now. I'm slow on the joke. That's what I was thinking, Solja, that technically. Okay, so what about these auctions? Does anyone have the answer? Are you allowed to auction off goods that you get through, maybe packages that get sent to you? Like, for instance, if I had somebody send me a package of, say, a case of tuna in a can, and if I auctioned off the tuna individually, is that would be resale, right? That you would think that would be against terms of service. But if I just found the tuna in a can, that would be like secondhand tuna, and that would be okay to auction it. I'm thinking not. Like, I'm thinking I couldn't go around and just pick items from my house and auction them and be within terms of service. Because I know raffles aren't allowed. People tried that and then they found out it wasn't allowed, so they stopped doing that. Yeah, Mike. I got it like 20 minutes later because I'm slow. Okay, and then somebody was saying something about, what is it? Giving themselves a wrench in their own chat. Now, I don't think you can do that. I think that was a joke because I don't actually need a wrench in my own chat to block somebody. Do I? No, I don't. Okay, yeah, and then what else was confusing to me was screen sharing, because now I have all this evidence from my first live that I can use whenever I want to, except I don't know how to screen share yet. So nobody wants to come in and be helpful to me. Nobody wants me to be successful. How dare them? So why do people who want to consider their business YouTube, YouTube, an actual business, why did they take so many risks in order to gain financially? What what does that mean? I mean, really, if you have a big enough channel, wouldn't just having membership and encouraging people to join your membership be enough? And super chats and YouTube still gets their, or do they really need to cross the line and risk losing their channel? What's that about? I don't think YouTube was designed for people to sell stuff, like sales online. A lot of people are I'm not going to say a lot of people because I really don't know how many people are doing, but I see people doing it, selling things online. I don't recommend it to people who just want to have a channel, and or even if they want to have YouTube as a business, because I think in order to truly make YouTube a business, you have to have a video that goes viral, or you have to have a very large following that are willing to join memberships. And Patreon has nothing to do with YouTube, as far as I know, separate entity. But memberships was put there in place when Patreon became a big thing, and YouTube couldn't stop people from having Patreon. But they did take away the Patreon button. There used to be a Patreon button, so I guess YouTube was advertising it. But now I have no idea how anyone even joins Patreon. It's like a separate entity for sure. Okay, but like if PayPal is a no-no, then wouldn't everything, Cash App, Venmo, wouldn't everything be a no-no? Okay, okay, that's another way people can make money legitimately through YouTube is you can make a video showing products that maybe directs you to the website. That's have having a sponsorship, and a few people have the right to sponsorship, and they did advertise some products, and I don't know if they lost their sponsorships or they were just too lazy to, or would forget to mention them. But yeah, I agree, Doodle. I think people should monetize. Just I mean, unless it's going to affect their other income. Say if you're on disability and you're not allowed to make another income, or if you're on unemployment, and because Google will notify your job, or your the unemployment office that you are making money on YouTube. They will notify them. You can't get away from that if you're on unemployment. But and also probably disability. I don't know if they check these things. So if you are on disability, I don't recommend that you monetize unless it won't affect your disability check. But if it affects your disability check that much, maybe you need to drop your disability and just go, YouTube's my new job now. I'm making millions. Okay, Solja, thank you for showing up. I'm hoping that more people will want to come and join. Like, there's a lot of people that will, do panels and let people talk, but it seems to me, I just would like to encourage some people that don't usually talk to come on a panel and talk, and I'm willing to mute myself if they want to talk about something, and I do tend to talk too much, so maybe I could offer that. And the other thing I was thinking about is like sometimes back in the day when I was kind of new, I had I would say something in the chat, and then the person, the host of the panel, would berate me for whatever I said, and I would feel sometimes that they took it wrong because I was being sarcastic or I was trying to like humanize the situation in some way to let them know that not everyone feels the same way about one thing. And in my head, I felt like, well, I don't really want to talk in chat unless I get to be on panel. It just seems unfair to be berated. I don't mind someone disagreeing with me, but to say, you're not allowed to say stuff like that in here. Now I understand, like, if some people don't want the names of other channels put in their side chat, that I get that. Personally, I don't care. If you want to put a name of another channel in my side chat, that's fine, unless you're like really trying to hurt that person. But if it's just for, to advertise, that's that's fine with me. Like, Doodle, if you want to advertise your own channel, that's fine. You can put your link in the side chat. But like right now, there's no point because I have 4 people watching that probably already have subbed up to you a long time ago, years ago. I don't want this to be like a Discord where people, like, I don't want, this is hard to talk about, this whole Discord thing. Like, I don't want people to think that I spend my time in Discords chatting all day long because I think everyone knows that I don't do that. I get kicked out of Discords for non-participation, and that's fair. But like whatever. But then I find out later that those Discords, I actually got kicked out because some irrational stuff was being said in those Discords, and someone leaked that, and I don't know, it just was confusing. So like when people are when I do a live, I don't want to know more than the person on panel does. I want everything to be upfront and about what we've seen on or heard on YouTube. So if you've seen something in a Discord, I'd appreciate you didn't say it in my side chat. I mean, that seems fair to me. Problem I have about going live by myself is that uh, it's hard to be funny, but when you don't have a sidekick, I think. Well, it's hard for me. Like I like to bounce off somebody else's humor. So if I have someone on panel, I can do a little bit more of that. And then I do tend to overshare. So I have to watch myself. Anyway, I think that's pretty much that's it. No one's really interested in this subject too much or just not available, I'm gonna save this for a later date and use it as evidence. I think half an hour or 40 minutes is a long enough time for people to show up, and I'm gonna leave this one up just so that if people want to watch it later, they can. I'll see how many views I get and decide whether people really want to get involved in discussions on YouTube or not, or do they want to just let things stay the way they are? Maybe I'll just keep going live with 6 people. That could be fine too. But thank you, everyone, for coming in. Thank you, Doodle, Mike, Soldier, Nana, everyone that helped participate in this. And I'm going to end this right now.